Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Yeah, those ones should do just fine for the pasting. Hey there, Harold. Ah, I'll let it get stuck to the silicon mat again. Just popping out the chat so I can see. Alright, it's better. Yeah, Paul, having limited sleep is never good. Never good, even in the best of times. Not that I need to tell you or anyone else that. I think I might try and paste up 2 boards at once. Yeah, it's still viable. Obviously, if I was doing big runs, I would set up an actual proper a proper rig. So that I wouldn't be just kind of hodgepodging my paste application here. Because obviously, you know, as I apply this, I am shearing the board around a little bit. Doesn't help that the paste is actually a little bit dry. Yeah, see, I've been shearing the board around. I've effed it up. That's no good. Yep. I need to just tape it. I need to set it up properly. This isn't gonna work. We'll just put this one aside and clean it for later. That's no good. And what I'm also going to do is change the orientation to this way. I was kind of shocked. I went looking to get some new paste today, and that's not even the right that's not even the right one. The cost of solder paste domestically is just ludicrous. They want $50 Australian for one little syringe. It's like, no, that's definitely not happening. And they wonder why people go and buy overseas. Yeah, the paste is very dry. I should not be using this paste, in all honesty, but I am. Although it is really dry. Drier than my humour at the best of times. No, it's just too dry. It's too dry today. I'm gonna have to. I thought I could push through it, but no. I had hopes, and now those hopes are gone. Yeah, branches. I ended up buying a couple of tubes from overseas. Previously, I have bought with Element 14 used to have a reasonable supply. Like I'd get this stuff pretty cheap. I think I can still get this in Australia for about $15 a tube, which isn't too bad. But you try to get this chip quick stuff, and yeah, they want ridiculous prices for it right now. Okay, this is... I'm just going to put this back in here. This paste is already a mess. So I'm not like contaminating a good batch or anything. It's already a contaminated batch. This stuff is fine for using... Yeah, if you want to do little BGA reballs and you sort of want dried out paste, it kind of helps with this stuff. It's still really not that great though, I've got to tell you. Obviously everyone's going to say, you should put it in the fridge. And so yeah, you should. But I don't have a fridge in here, and I'm not planning on putting a fridge in here because that's a whole lot more power to use and a whole lot more cooling to do. And my power bills are already pretty crazy, and it's already hard enough to keep this place cool. So I would rather waste a syringe or two prematurely than spend $600-700. Okay, it's not going to be that much, but yeah, I could easily spend $100 on cooling and things like that, or another $20 on another tube. To be fair, if I get them from AliExpress or whatever, like mechanic arbitrary brand stuff, it only cost me like $2 a tube. John, Vince. Hey, Ben Wilson. Yeah, I was thinking of I could put some flux on there, but tacky flux isn't going to really do it. I used to have some very liquid flux, yeah, low viscosity, but I don't have that anymore either. I think I had like a 5-litre container of it. I just wasted about 99% of that. Well, yes, solar and Australia work very well together, but you still do need to run them at night time. So really what you want is solar and battery, and then that works alright. Okay, I just need to find a platform for this to work on. That should about do it. No, it's too big. I need a narrower board. Let's see. Oven controller, keyboard. Might work. Oh yeah, RPA is definitely not a good choice for that. Yeah, I've seen some people use IPA or try to use IPA. Just add alcohol to it. And it's like, no, it really is not a good idea. Okay. Ah, yes. Hey, JCT. The reason why I'm making these ring lights, even though you can buy them cheap, is because the cheap ones are cheap. And you really notice it after a while when you're using a cheap one. And then you switch to one of these ones. Hey, Q's. Solder balls won't be any good on this. I don't know if this is going to be any good. Oh yeah, wow. Huh. That's pretty good. That has been sitting on my bench for the last 6 months, and it's perfectly good. But yeah, solder balls won't work because it's mostly square areas too. Trick is not to try and apply too many. Don't swipe too many times. And lift cleanly. And out. Let's get the next one. I should have fixed up the alignment before I tacked it down, so I was a bit of an idiot there. That'll suffice. Sort of got a bit ahead of myself. I might do one more, so we'll try and get 3 done tonight. At least then that justifies the amount of paste I squeezed out. Yeah. I realise I can do a better rig, but this will do for tonight. I said we've just done 3, so that's pretty good. Got a fair bit of wastage there. I mean, you know, what do you do with the wastage paste? I can't exactly put it back in the syringe. Let's do a zoom in. Probably going to regret this. Or maybe not. Fuck. Out. Yeah, I just realised it's not quite showing up. There we go. I don't really need to make a 3D jig for this. I just really should have just had just keying holes, and that would have been fine. Crap, that's what I was worried was going to happen to one of them, but anyway. That's alright. It's only the last two there. Get the vacuum pump running. Drop the temperature down here. Hey, Pro Engineer. No, never lost monetization. I just lost time, and I really still don't have time, but let's get these done. It doesn't matter if I put them on slightly bad, because the reflow will draw them right on back. The gap's a little bit excessive between the strip and the PC board though. Every now and then I just double check that I have the right orientation. Especially when they've gotten flipped around like that one. Okay, looks like this strip is actually short by 2 LEDs. One rather. I'm just gonna have to do a sacrificial strip. Hey, Pro. Yeah. A bit of pick and place time. Imagine how quick they could do these if we had a pick and place machine. It'd just be like, no sooner you start talking about them, they're done. Put that on just a second. Just zoom back in now. You know what I'm doing down below. It flipped, and there's not a very good, how could you say, there's not a very good pin 1 indicator on these things. Oh, it looks like it is actually in the right place. That's going to require some rework. The only trouble with sloppier paste is that on ultra fine ones like that, you almost inevitably have to manually reflow them. Or rework them, rather. Can you do a ring light multi-LED? I mean, theoretically, potentially, but not on this ones. These are strictly white. Oops. And right. Oh, my hands are not so steady tonight. Go. I'm just going to put that to the side. Potentially a bad idea, but we'll see. Okay, load up the next one. Just loading up my strip of LEDs. What the hell? I'm one short on this one too. Oh no, I'm not. Ah! Okay, that's just a little bit too far. The number is, Teresa actually sent me a end of V3, so that was a pretty good starting point for me, and I've used it quite a bit. It does the job. And this was done by the V3. If you're wondering why I don't populate the second capacitor pads up the top there by the microcontroller, it's because that was purely optional. It was just me preparing for the potential to have to put something there, but in the end I didn't. I do need a cap there though. Alright, cap. I can just see the what do you call it, the notch on the bottom of this LED driver, but it's a little bit smaller than perhaps what I can do with my own free vision, even with my glasses. Okay, what else? Another DC jack. B-blood, it's just, you keep little jelly bean caps like 100 nanofarad in this case next to pretty much everything, just so it can pick up any sort of little power needs. Did I only do 3 boards? I thought I did 4. Didn't I do 4? Oh, did I only do 3? Wow. Oh, well, we're on our next one. Don't know, wrong way. Don't know. Live streams can be fickle beasts. Preparing the LED strip again. JCT, you just need to use bigger parts. Time to move back up to 1206s. 603 is about my limit without the microscope now. Okay, maybe 402 for resistors, but nah, 603 is about realistically it. Everything else, yeah, microscope. Like these are 603s. It's all good. I don't know why these resistors are blue in color. Maybe it's because of the series that they are, maybe because I specifically asked for that value. No idea. But they're blue. Let's see. Tradies trying to learn swear words. Oh well. Always good cultural appropriation, I suppose. Most expensive single component there. Probably the LED controller. This thing here. Oh, actually, I mean, if you're not talking like realistically, these things, these three-way switches, they are the most expensive part. I swear I did 4. That's really weird. Like I said, I swear I did 4 of them, but no. I've only got 3 boards there. And they're all populated now. That was pretty quick, actually. Okay, nice thing is that the reflow thingy is already programmed. I do wish it was a little bit more of a robust switch. I mean, it does a good job, but I do wish it had a little bit more robustness about it. Anyway, turn on the extractor. Seal view, that's right. Now we wait. I don't know what. I think these are a multi-comp, which means that they're just sourced from multiple places, whoever happens to offer the best price. And then multi-comp is just an aggregator. They just go around, find out who's got the parts they're looking for, and buys them off them in bulk, and then resells it under their branding. Yeah, that's weird. The speaking of which, the multi-comp power supply keeps switching in and out. Oh well. Yeah, Elements have 14 cells, a lot of multi-comp. But yeah, they're just an aggregator. They're not really a original manufacturer per se. So we're at 140, so we've got another 40 odd Celsius to go. Hey Greg. Now what's going to be fun is the fact that I'm trying to work out whether I need to cool down the top plate before I put the next one on. But I think I probably can just throw the next board on. I need to find a better slide off option here. Like a really big circuit board or something. I'm just going to go look for something. I don't really have a lot of big circuit boards. I might just have to use a bit of the panel board that they ship with it, like this stuff. Okay, we're at 180. And the reflow started, so now I'll switch it off. Basically, as soon as the reflow starts, I'll just switch it off. I don't know if you can see the smoke being drawn off it or not, but all the fumes are getting nicely sucked away. And pretty much once the fumes have gone, then I'm usually right to take it off. Sylvia, you'll probably have to tell me about 3 or 4 more times before I remember. It's just the reality. Metal spatula, drywalling spatula, yeah, that could work too. Actually, that does remind me, I do have a large implement somewhere. And that's not what I told some people. I'm just not sure where I'll put it, that's the problem. I could use a bottom plate from a MacBook, but it's not really flat enough. And I can guarantee you if I tried to use it, what will happen is it will snag. And then all those lovely, still mostly molten parts will come flying off. Probably land in my eyeball. And I'll scream a little bit. Just a little. No. I think we need to get it off though. I'm using 180 at the moment. That worked out alright. Put that on a cooling rack somewhere. Ideally. Anyway. I'm going to load up the next one, making sure we don't touch the very hot plate. And switch it back on. It's probably not a great way to do it because the ramp up will be just a little bit too severe, but we'll see how it goes. This is why normally I would actually stick this in the reflow oven, and in the reflow oven, yeah, it's already reflowing these things. It's a bit of an aggressive. Yeah, it's a tad aggressive for me. Well, at least it's pulling them all into place. Seems like it's heating from the back first, which is not a good thing because it's better off to heat up here where all the heavy duty parts are. Anyway, let's shut off. So I can't overly recommend this for continuous process. Better off putting it in the oven. Crap. I need to find a place to put this down. Good point about the fact that the board is wider there. So yeah, it's going to take longer to heat up. And again, that's why having it in the oven would be better. What I might do is actually give it a chance. I haven't switched it on yet. I might give it a chance to sort of preheat because it'll probably warm up to around about 150. You watch, it's going to start reflowing the damn things. Or what's going to happen is the flux is going to boil off. Let's see, what are you sitting at? It's 160. Jeez. Yeah. Hey, Keith McDermott. I actually thought it might be a little bit cooler at this side because of the proximity to the extractor. And the reflow started again. Switch it off. Chemo yesterday. Ah, jeez. Sorry to hear about that, Keith. Paul Howell's probably going through similar sort of hell too. Unless, then again, actually Paul might have just decided stuff is all. Anyone want a slice of ring light? Okay, we have to wait for them to cool down a bit and then we can have a look at them, see if the reflow is reasonably okay. And of course, like I said, the LED controllers, I almost always have to rework them. Well, that's fortunate, Keith, about the early diagnosis. That always goes a long way towards helping them. I mean, obviously you still got to get through it, but yeah. Just trying to work out which one's the coldest. Not too bad. Okay. Light's a bit bright. There we go. That is actually amazingly good. That is far better than I was expecting. No need to rework that one. Obviously I've got a bit of excess paste going down on those LEDs. I can control that by narrowing the actual hole, but we'll see if it's necessary. Sometimes it's not a risk here, you know, that balling out is, I'd say the real problem is more me not controlling the thickness of the application very well due to the awful stencil setup. Yeah, the three-way switch is good too. So yeah, that one there should be right to go. Even the D-pack is nicely done. About my only gripe is, yeah, like I said, a bit of excess solder paste on the balling out, and the heat was a little bit much, and it's caused the flux to brown up a bit. So I'll probably have to wash them down a bit. But I can't throw it in the ultrasonic really because I've got this three-way switch, so you can't. It doesn't take kindly to being put through the ultrasonic. And let's just verify we've got all our cathodes in the right spot. Yeah, there's only 28 of them, but it does seem to take a while to verify them all. Okay, that one's good. Wow, that one, okay, it's a little bit skewed, but it still did really good. Random floating bits of trash in the atmosphere. Again, the heat is a problem. But, yeah, I'm happy enough to leave that as is. If I try to rework that, it's just going to make more trouble than it's worth. That's backwards. That one there. I don't know how that happened, but that one is backwards. C4 is not required. It's merely something that you put down occasionally just to, just as a preventative or expansion type option. You sort of go, well, I'm fairly sure that the microcontroller is going to be fine with, wow, that one's, what? I don't know how, oh wait, no, that is the same one, duh, okay. Alright, so we have to rework this one off. Hey there, Defpom. Oh no, no, schematic's not published anywhere, good god no. What do you think I am, a open source fanatic or something? Good God, no. This is going to ruin the LED, probably. We'll see. Fortunately, it's on the outer ring rather than being down in the main body. If it was in the main body, I'd probably have to stick it back on the... I think I need more airflow on that one. Oh, this is not going anywhere. There we go. That was a whole lot of preheat. Alright, where's my sacrificial? Well, this is why we check these things, isn't it? Well, same for moving IGBTs. Oh yeah, I can imagine that would actually be quite a task. Ah, flippin' heck. Make sure I get it the right way around. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to put this on the actual... Bloody hell. They did not take kindly. I got a little too close. Come on, heat up. Thank you. Yeah, well, maybe just some paste. The LEDs are semi-expensive. They're definitely brand name. The two adjacent ones pretty much have to go too, I think. No, I'm gonna rip these three off. Oh, there it goes. I was gonna say I'm gonna rip these three off and redo them on the actual hot plate. Okay, here's another board. That's good enough. How are they special? They're special because they've got a very high color rendering index, CRI index. And when you have a high CRI, it means colors are actually represented as they should be, or closer to as they should be. Whereas you find with a lot of the existing ring lights, with like 144 LEDs or whatever, they can appear bright, but they may have a high lux, but they lack any sort of spectrum diversity, so they tend to have a monochromatic effect. Anyway, that one there is fine too. Are they LM301Bs? No. Let's see, what are they? No. These are something very different to that. So I'm on the spectrum. Oh my goodness, someone had to drop that joke, didn't they? Alright, let's program these two and then I'm going to have to rework that one. Okay, looks like I actually did get the right port this time. Huh. Alright. Very technical programming system. Okay, that's the wrong port. Yeah, back to me in USB 2, you lousy SAB. I honestly could have sworn that I made it that I could... Anyway. Ignore me for the moment, I'm just waffling, which is what I'm good at. Okay, programmed. Programmed. I may as well program this one at the same time. It doesn't matter that I've got to rework it. It's supposed to be programmed. Okay, programmed. Doesn't take very long to program. Let's see. Maximum, minimum. Okay, they're all... I can look at them when they're in the minimum, not so much when they're maximum. Okay, midway, turn off. Yep, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, they're all active there. That's good. Well, those LEDs are actually working. I kind of need sunglasses to see if they've... Doesn't look like they've suffered. Looks pretty damn bright to me. It's good. That doesn't look like I need to really worry about those. What's the time? Nearly midnight. Yeah, so we've done 3 in an hour. We could have done 4 in the hour, so 1 every 15 minutes, I suppose. Trying to decide what to do about the wash down. Whether I just leave them be or, yeah, let's wash them. Like I said, I just can't put them through the ultrasonic, that's all. I suppose you could say, well, why don't you reflow them without the switch and then put the switch on afterwards after you've reflowed, but that is more drama than what I'm willing to accept. Ah, sorry, just took a while to clean my glasses then. Couldn't see anything. It looks like I'm still vibrating on the floor. I forgot about the vacuum pump. Yeah, Trady, I reckon 4 an hour is a fairly reasonable thing, so I figure maybe, let's see, do 4 a day. That's not a bad turnaround. Get the old toothbrush out. A lot of those excess balls are actually still holding on, which is not unusual. But at least this should clear off the flux. One way I could do it is actually dip the boards in like that and leave the switch up. But we should have the extractor. Well, I will say I actually don't want to turn this into too much of a business. It's fine to do it like as a side job, but it's definitely no fun at all doing it permanently. Like if you said, okay Paul, for the next 10 weeks you've got to make 10 a day or 20 a day, I'd go mad, I really would. I've done it before and I don't want to do it again. Not with ring lights, but with other things, other manufacturing things, and I was a mental case at the end of it. It's no fun at all. Some people it works great with, some people love it, because it's consistent, it's predictable, all that sort of stuff. Definitely not for me. And that's why you need to employ those kind of people for this kind of work. Yeah, Q's, I've got to get the PayPal thing sorted out in the whole page, because I'll be adding the USB-C meters as well on top. It's a side project, definitely not something you want to do full time, yeah. And yes, you're right, it will definitely help with cat food. The amount of cat food we go through is terrifying. sell them as kits, oh god, no. I mean, in theory, it's not a bad idea and I wouldn't mind, but I've honestly found in the past from doing kit sales that it was more drama than it was worth. So, the number of support requests or the guy, things that you think, they shouldn't be asking for support or anything like that, but it happens. It happens. It's just easier for me to make them and be done with it. And also just trying to pack up all the little bits, and then someone says, I can't find this little bit, or this little bit wasn't in the kit, can you send me a replacement, blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh god, help me now. Take me from this horror. It's okay if you're someone like J Car or whatever. I can't say the other business name because I don't want to be demonetized tonight. Queues, I've actually found though with shipping with these that it's not too bad. Like, because it's under 250 grams, the shipping is quite reasonable on them. Hey Prater. Well, you're almost missing me again. I'm just sort of going through the closing phase. Well, not the closing phases. The putting all the trimmings on now. Okay. Heat sinks. B-Blood, you can actually use your credit card through PayPal these days. Yeah, they don't. They're happy to take that information from you. Like, it doesn't create a PayPal account, it just simply, PayPal becomes the conduit. To buy myself more of these inserts, because I bought a multi-kit, and obviously I'm using one variety within that multi-kit, so I better get more of that one variety. I will put up the files for the making of these standoffs for mounts for the ring lights, like the STL files or whatever they are. Then people can make their own variations or to suit their own microscopes or whatever they want. Hey, full wave. Sorry, how many people still use a ring microscope? Not sure what you mean. You mean like the old AIM-scope type? The optical system? The one that we've all been using? Do you mean people are using digital these days? Man, that's a rough way to live. Would not want to be stuck with the digital microscope. for this kind of work anyway. Sorry. Oh yeah, I mean plenty of people, because they usually come default with the microscopes anyway, and they're usually pretty terrible. But you don't realize how bad they are until you get a better one. Usually what people do is they'll just try and make it brighter and brighter and brighter, but it doesn't actually help them see better, because it's not specifically the brightness they need. They need the broader spectrum of light. Otherwise your eyeballs really do struggle. The anti-glare system, isn't that just sort of like a gooseneck halogen? As opposed to specifically being anti-glare. I guess it's sort of anti-glare in the sense of it's a point source, a single or dual point source, as opposed to 144 points. It's kind of like, do you want to die by mosquito bites all over your body, or do you want to die by being stabbed just once? It's pretty much how it goes. I don't think I will be doing any at an angle. Yeah, no. I don't really think there's much need for it, because these are already diffuse LEDs, so putting them at an angle doesn't really achieve a huge amount, because the output's not focused anyway. The output's got like a 120 degree spread, so putting it at an angle doesn't really achieve anything. It does for the little 3mm lensed LEDs, because they've only got like a 20 or 30mm degree spread, and so you do need it so they converge. Otherwise you just have 144 little points on your bench. But because these are diffuse, it's not required. I mean, I suppose you could, but the other problem you got there is that the convergence point is going to vary depending on the height that you're viewing at. These JIS screws are not magnetic. I don't know why, but they're not. It's annoying me. You can always put a external light on, yes. I mean, no reason not to. I mean, I've got a pair of 120 odd watt spotlights coming down onto this bench, and then I've got two 60 watt ambient panels above that. So yeah, I mean, you want to have a good degree of ambience as well. Scream, little screw, scream. 50mm internal diameter on this. So it's designed to just fit over the standard Barlow that comes with most of the Amscope units. Prater, the spotlights, unfortunately, they don't go too far, thankfully. I think one of them I've got, the one up here, that's got a 50 degree spread, and the one on the other side I think is a little bit more, but it's a better quality light. I want to replace the one on the left here with another one of the one that's on the right. The left hand one is a Niwa, I can't remember what it is, but who is it? Adam and IT, he uses them, but I've found them a little bit harsh compared to the small rig ones that I've got. I prefer the small rig one. It may be just the reflector, but I do also find that the quality of the light is superior to the newer. Too small to fit over your camera lens. What diameter is your camera lens? Oh, you've got like an SLR camera setup with yeah, too small for that. You could probably grind it out. There's no, what am I going to say? There's no traces going on this inner section, but then you'd have to find a way to still mount it. So that will get you maybe out to 60. It's probably still not big enough though. Okay. $68, yeah. And of course you do want to have a bigger lens like that for a lot of the work. Otherwise you get stuck with some pretty ugly slow lenses. Yeah, Prado, the house does tend to illuminate the street a little bit, but in fairness, the guys in their 4x4s with the great big light bars and all that sort of stuff, they do a much better job of being annoying. So coming through Daylight Truck Express, it's like bloody hell. The worst thing is, with all the lights, they still can't see properly, and they still manage to hit kangaroos and stuff. It's Tradie's fault, I see. He's the one with the big fat light bars. What car are you driving around in, Tradie? A wholesome BT50? Or something horrible like a Ram 1500? He's gonna tell me it's a Ram. Shouldn't be buffering, nothing showing up on the stats. If we're buffering, it's YouTube's fault. Hey 3X. Oh, it's... There we go. Okay, Diff, I'll catch up with you later. We have another one finished. I actually asked the suppliers of these if they could just send me these. The transfer pad's nice too, but I can find other ways around that. But I just needed bulk lots of these, but it was cheaper for me to buy the whole NVMe kit instead. Yeah, you wouldn't want to chew on this. If you chew on this, you'll be wriggling in other ways. You'll probably feature on Chubby Emu video stream. Along with the guys that had to do their Tide Pod testing. Had to disassemble my toolbox so I could make it fit in the tiny car. Ha! Yeah. I have still got the Ford Courier 4x4 dual cab. I don't ever use the four-wheel drive feature. It's just around town I use it to take things down to the dump or to haul something. But for the most time it just sits there and slowly has the diesel corroding the insides of that car. I can't go on the highway with it because it throws fifth gear. It's just a design issue. It's well known for doing that. But at least I'm fortunate, in my case, it's only doing it on fifth gear. For some people they lose first gear, and that sucks. Then again, it's a diesel, so it's got enough torque that they could slip the clutch, but then you're going to ruin your clutch after a while. There we go. We're all done for tonight. And we're 10 minutes over midnight. That's no good. That means I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. Alright, clean up the trash so that I don't have to deal with it tomorrow. Then I come stumbling in because the customer's angry and I've got to sort something out quickly. Serial numbers? Yes, I could put numbers on them if I wanted, but I haven't done that to date. Trash. Put the screwdrivers back. Put all the parts back in the boxes. I should probably clean that stencil. Okay, where's that stencil? It's a bit wasteful, but I don't really have a receptacle for the excess solder here. I'm sure if I looked around the workshop I'd find something, but honestly I can't be bothered right now. More paper towel. I think we long passed 007 a long time ago. This is why you wear gloves. They work very well against things like this lead paste. Not so well against methyl mercury too, but well enough against lead paste. Can you slow pot it to make something usable? Not real. I mean, yeah, you could, but it's one of those things where yes, you could do that sort of collective stuff, and yes, you could maybe do something useful with it, but ultimately it ends up being not overly practical, and you probably end up wasting more resources doing that than just accepting the loss for now. It's unfortunately that's just IPA, so it shouldn't affect the wood too badly. Alright. Alright, that's clean enough. Clean enough for this household at least. Alright, you can go there, my good friend. Alright. I thought we were going to do 4. You watch, I'm going to look around and I'm going to go, oh, there's the 4th one. There is this one that we messed up originally, but that I wasn't counting, so yeah. Anyway, I probably won't see you tomorrow unless something interesting comes in, but I thought at least we got a stream done tonight. Built some bits and pieces. Got to test to see if the 709 color system works alright. I'm going to go and check the stream after this and see how it appears on my screens. In the meantime, you'll take care, and I'll catch up with you next time. Until then, catch you later.